Good morning, y'all. It's like just past 6 a.m. I'm real excited to start today off with working on the Lude because yo, it's been so long since I've driven the Lude. Just last night I got like a gasket kit for the valve cover and valve cover bolts. I didn't really need the valve cover gasket, but they did come with these little washers for the valve cover bolts. So I ordered the whole valve cover gasket kit and I started putting them in last night, but it started pouring rain. But I'm excited to wake up today and it's not raining, so I want to put on these valve cover bolts and washers, and we're gonna take the Lude for a test drive. Just a little recap in case I didn't watch my last video. The Lude was having a misfiring issue on cylinder 2, but I did a valve adjustment and it seems to be running smoothly now. So the only reason why I haven't been driving it is because I was missing 2 valve cover bolts. But shoot, let's get the valve cover bolted on. This one. Oh, sorry, I had to take a poop break. Well, we got one more thing before we take the Lude out on its first drive. If you didn't catch it, I got another part for the Lude. I was hoping that this would fix the issues with the misfiring, but I haven't even installed them yet, and the Lude seems to be running fine. But since I have these, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in. Did you guess it? Got some GEEK spark plugs. Spark plug wires, my bad. My bad. And bam, there you have it. Yo, if you could change spark plugs, you can do anything to your motor. No doubt. Yeah. Alright, first starting the Lude with the new spark plug wires and new valve cover bolts. Yeah. Wow, if you listen to that, it is kind of loud, but it ain't as loud as before, and it definitely doesn't sound like one cylinder is louder than the other. If that makes sense, I don't know. But the exhaust sounds nice and steady. Before it used to be sputtering, it used to be like bop, 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 bop. Alright, so as of now, the Lude sounds really good from inside the car. Let's get on with this first test drive. Man, I haven't been able to drive this car in so long, man. I hate to admit this, but even with the check engine light blinking, I was driving the Lude for a good like month, maybe month and a half before I bought the Civic. And ever since I got the Civic, I've just been driving the Civic every day to work and whatnot. And I've just been letting the Lude sit here. Alright, so right now I'm just trying to see how the Lude feels when I go into different gears. After it warms up, we're gonna kinda send it. I haven't hit VTEC in a minute. So also during this test drive, I want to make sure that the check engine light doesn't come back on either. And right now, so far it hasn't come back on. Even the ATTS light isn't on. Crazy, yo. If you don't know about the ATTS light, man, be happy that you don't. It's a Prelude type SH thing. And pretty much if your check engine light comes on, that ATTS light is always on as well. Alright guys, I think it's about time, man. I think we about to send it, man. Y'all ready for this? Let me get on the straightaway real quick. Alright, let me shut up. I can definitely hear it, but when it kicks in, yeah, it kind of helps. But yo, I think the Prelude is good right now. We've driven it a couple of miles. We hit VTEC, no check engine light came on. I think the Lude is ready for me to drive again, man. I could probably take it to work tomorrow. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Alright, so I got one more test we could do to the Lude before I give it the okay. The rain calmed down a bit, so let's do a compression test. Alright, so I got the compression tester hooked up to cylinder 2. Remember, 1, 3, and 4 were all good. They were 150 PSI, whereas cylinder 2 was like, I think 30. So, let's see if the compression is any better after the valve adjustment. Let's see where it's at. Yo, 150. Ooh, oh shoot. Yo, the compression is good. Man, that's crazy. So this means we got 150 across the board. The compression on the head is good. I mean, the compression on the whole engine is good. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure if I would have changed the piston rings, the compression would be a lot better. But yo, 150 on all 4 cylinders, that's a solid motor right there, buddy. Yeah. Oh man, dude, this is awesome. Okay, well, the motor is good. The only issue right now, besides the fact that the wrap isn't complete, I'm leaking power steering fluid. This thing was like way below the low line. So whenever the storm clears up and it gets dry, I'm gonna try to see where the leak is coming from. But other than that, the Lude has the okay from me. Now I'm gonna be able to swap between the Civic and the Lude to go to and from work. Yeah. What's up, guys? Just got a fresh cut. I went to I guess the tax office to get a new driver's license. But here in Texas, this department that handles vehicle registration, they do not handle driver license. I think it's pretty weird because back in North Carolina, we have the DMV, which is a Department of Motor Vehicles, and they'll handle, you know, vehicle registration and driver license and IDs and all that, you know? Makes sense, right? Because even when I came here, I had to check in with the computer and I clicked new resident and I waited probably about 20-30 minutes. And the lady was like frustrated because she didn't really understand what I was trying to do. Because the first thing she said was like, new resident? And I was like, yeah. And then, I don't know, things just kind of got scrambled up. And I was like, no, I'm just trying to get a license here. My car's already registered. And then she was like, oh, well, you have to schedule an appointment with DPS. It's a whole different department and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I think it's pretty stupid, but now I got to schedule an appointment to get my license. And this is really important because my brother had like sent me a text message that I got a letter back in North Carolina for jury duty. So sometime next month I'm supposed to be in North Carolina and like be in court for jury duty. So in order to get out of it, I need to prove that, you know, I'm actually a resident of Texas now. You know, I don't live in North Carolina. So yeah.